Okay, so the context for this scene is they are in China or Shanghai. I think Shanghai is in China. I think I'm thinking of Hong Kong being its own thing. Um, Indiana Jones wants the diamond thing, but they like give him some drinks. Yeah, they give him something in exchange for something else, and it turns out that they actually poisoned him because they don't like Indiana
Alright,
Jones.
the poison
And
for Indiana Jones.
yeah, of course, because this is like a movie and they don't want it to be like 5 minutes long, of course they have the antidote like right on their person. You can't have Indiana Jones die at the beginning. You don't want this movie to be called... This movie isn't called
Indiana
Willie
Jones
and Short...
and the time he died.
Yeah, this is worse than that time at prom. Yeah, we played this level last night,
Yes.
and the freaking chair thing was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
That shit was so dumb.
It was truly the power of the Home Depot.
That's the power of the Home Depot.
Like, I understand why you, like, reacted the way you did. Because you did technically do the right thing.
Yeah, I did the puzzle
But
and the game just said no.
This game sucks. Okay, where did my diamond go? Oh, you got it. Oh, dang it. Why is it clipping through his hand?
Oh wait,
Okay.
I can
Oh,
just
yeah,
break the glass
I
by
forgot.
screaming.
Well, yeah, well, you're Willie. She has the ability to shriek.
Yeah.
I guess we don't need to throw it because it was, like... It's not free play. Oh, hey.
Hey!
Tell me, Indy. What's the getup? Oh my gosh. What a loser. Alright, so now this is short round. He is a character in Indiana Jones. He is the classic little kid from the second movie. Every movie series needs a kid character. Although this movie, not to say that short round's a bad character, but not one I enjoy. What are you doing?
I'm screaming.
This man has never felt more pain in his entire life. You've worked jobs before, right? I'm pretty sure you've mentioned that. You've had a couple of jobs.
Yes, yeah.
What do you think has been your worst customer service experience in terms of the jobs you've worked?
Oh my gosh. Well,
if you can't pick one, then you can like.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few.
I think you have to go down there so you can get the platforms for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. When I worked at.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Great game.
When I worked at
it's all good.
Jiffy Lube Live, which was a concert center in Virginia, where I grew up, I dealt with a lot of people who smoked and a lot of people who drank. Most of the people that I encountered who drank were very drunk before the concert even started, and I questioned, like, why would you go to a concert and before the concert even started, you're already hammered drunk? You're not gonna remember any of the concert. What?
Yeah.
And if you do, it won't be pleasant.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I feel like going to any public event with the intention of being an absolute like jerk and or moron is just like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like why make things bad for not just yourself but for everybody else around you?
Yeah. I have pretty low patience for people who drink, so yeah, that was definitely a negative experience.
Yeah. My first job, I didn't really have.
How come the kid gets to drive?
So I've only had 2 jobs technically, and the first one was I worked in a Chick-fil-A and I worked in the back, so I didn't have to deal with customers. But I was always told about all the really epic stories regarding people who take their Chick-fil-A food just a little bit too seriously. I tell you, the amount of time, if I had a nickel for every time I heard someone talking about someone complaining about sauce they did or did not get, gosh, I tell you, it would be a lot of nickels. It'd be more than 2. And what sucks even more is I worked at a mall Chick-fil-A, so there were like, I don't know if this is even related, but just there were quite a few fights in like the that mall. Like I don't even know why. It just seemed like completely unwarranted. Like you would just be minding your business and then out of nowhere like someone in line just starts freaking fighting with someone else. It's like, come on, this freaking chicken nuggets. Like, can you not just jeez.
When I was in high school, there were these 2 guys who got into a fight in the school cafeteria because one guy stole the other guy's chicken nuggets, and then the other guy yelled at him, "Those are my damn chicken nuggets!" And then he attacked him. That guy is, like, still talked about at like, that school and, like, in like, the local area where I grew up. People still talk about.
We gotta put it over here.
Those are my damn chicken nuggets, guy.
This sounds very funny. Well,
it's
out of context.
He peaked. He peaked. That's what he will be known for the rest of his life.
That is very unfortunate.
I don't know. Maybe he likes it.
Yeah. While my current job, I work at a Publix, and while I haven't had any experience where I have like had any fights or anything like that, I've definitely had a lot of people getting mad over very minuscule things. I've had like at least 2 instances where people like pulled the manager card, like, I'm gonna call your manager. It's like, okay, listen, like, I'm a reasonable person. I understand that sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not the best employee in the world, but if you're so insecure that you can't like talk to me like a human being, that you have to like immediately go to the higher ups as soon as you get like mildly inconvenienced, then yeah, you're an asshole, and I have no respect for you.
Yeah, some people just, they just like the power of, like, I'm the customer, and I can, I'm always right. I get to hold that over the employee's head, and I have the power to ruin their lives if I'm upset by, them messing something up.
Yes, I'm gonna get someone fired over my gummy bears not being buy one get one free. I think you need to come and get this.
What? Why?
Lift me up on the forklift. Although I guess I have to ask, are you forklift certified?
No, but if you don't tell anyone, I
What the hell are you doing in this game? So, yeah, you gotta hold B.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, great game. Yeah, if I had to choose the worst one, oh hey, this is the classic scene where they actually are on his plane, and now they're gonna die. No, my least favorite experience, well, the one that stuck out to me, was, so at Publix we have the, like, I guess it's technically a system, but it's just kind of, as customer service staff, we like help people, we like bag groceries for people, and like, we're on the register and like bagging and offering to help people out and stuff. But and most of the time people have requests for certain ways they would want their groceries to be bagged and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's completely normal. Nothing we have any problem with. But also, we can't read people's minds. So like, if someone's gonna get, if we're doing something a certain way and you don't say anything, and then you get mad after the fact, like, I'm sorry, but that's on you. Like, we were just doing our job. If you wanted something done a certain way, you could either A, tell us, or B, do it yourself. Both of which we have no problem with. It got to one of those scenarios where I was bagging for someone, and it was like an older couple. It was like they were at least over the age of 50, maybe even over the age of 60. So you know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
In the wife, like, comes up to the like the register, the bagging area where I'm at, and she's like looking at me bag, and just every once in a while she'll just start either like taking something out of the bag and putting it in a different bag, or just moving it. And so eventually I'm just like, ma'am, would you like to bag your own groceries? Because, you know, if people, we have that, we're not against people bagging their own groceries. If they ask, that's fine. Like, obviously, if they want to. It's not like, you know, we're like one of the only places that really does bagging for people. So if they want to do stuff, that's not, again, it's not a problem. But like the moment I say that, the like not even like 2 seconds after, the old man just freaking like, just for no reason at all is just like, hey, you need to shut up and do your job, or I'm gonna, or do you want me to call your manager on you? And I'm like, shut the hell up. Well, I didn't say that, but like honestly, it was just something so minuscule, and you know, I'm pretty, you know, those interactions are few and far between, which I'm very happy with. But you know, it doesn't, you know, them happening just kind of ruins your day. Well, for the most, ruins the moment, because it's just like really, is it really worth getting upset over, like, bagging groceries?
Yeah, simple, like asking a simple question too.
Like, how entitled are you? Plas, have you ever eaten candy with bugs in them?
I would like to think that I haven't.
Well, I have. I've eaten a lollipop, like with a scorpion in it, or at least I've seen one. I was given one before.
Fun.
And oh my gosh, that reminded me of something. I don't know how I've never told this story before, but it's so funny looking back, because just it's so funny that this happened. That it's like my one high school story, I think, or it was technically middle school. So back in my middle school science class, I think it was biology or something like that, we had like various science projects and presentations we had to do, and one of them was a bug project, where we essentially had to go like collect bugs and preserve them and kind of present them in a type of like scientific way.
Okay.
Which it's basically what it sounds like. Now, this was our this was a first semester project, so we had to do this. We had to do this in. So this was during the fall, and it was recommended that we, you know, get it done before the winter, because you know it gets colder during the winter, so it will essentially just like the bugs are, there's not going to be a lot of bugs like there usually are. I'm not oh, I think I have to do, yeah, there we go, okay. But because my dumbass can't get anything done, I waited until like the last moment, so there weren't any bugs like around, or if there were any, I couldn't find any. So literally what I did, it wasn't even my idea, it was my mom's idea. My mom contacted one of her friends, and her sons had, like, they collected bugs and
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
And if you see where this is going,
Yeah.
essentially what we did is we went over to their house and, like, got a bunch of those bugs for the presentation and essentially, like, passed it off as my own. And I'm not exactly certain if my mom told my science teacher that they weren't mine, but just essentially it was, you know, just that thing where I felt like this feels dirty. Like I'm doing something that I do not deserve credit for, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm a dumb kid, so I'll just do whatever my parents tell me. My mom got me to cheat in order to pass the science class. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, great mom.
I don't know, looking back on it, it's kind of funny. Because we had like this old man who was a family member of one of the teachers there, and he like came in and, or it was like teachers and students, and he like came in and looked at all the bug stuff, and they were like, "Wow, this
Urkel."
He looked at oh yeah, it is, I guess so. Did I do that?
He looked at what?
This scene is very funny. He looked at my collection, quote unquote. He was like, "Hmm, this is a very interesting collection, Sonny." I think he like said something else, but I don't exactly remember. Monkey brains. They killed the monkey. How dare they? Hey, you got
know what
these
bullets
loaves of
are?
bread?
Yeah, we fire them from guns.
Why is that man chasing that woman? Aw,
Because
I
he's
don't
a
know about
bad
that.
man.
See you later. I'm going to bed. And all this not eating is making me hungry. Plus, I know you told your classic Chad senior high school story, but other than that,
Government, yeah.
yeah, other than that, are there any like interesting high school stories that you can think of that you haven't like told or even like told necessarily?
Oh, I definitely have a bunch. I don't know.
Do you have anything? Do you have
in
anything
the
related
moment, it's a little
to?
difficult to come up, like think of them.
Is there anything regarding you like cheating or getting away with cheating or something like that? Or were you the good kid of the school?
No, I was very much a rule follower at school. I didn't want to get into any trouble or anything. I mean,
I was too.
I was such
oh
a
my
rule.
gosh.
I was such a rule follower that when I was in middle school, there was this girl named Allison that I had a crush on. Like looking back now, she probably also liked me. And one time she asked me she asked me if she could hug me, and the school had a policy about no hugging.
No display of affection.
I was such a rule follower that I said no.
Bruh.
And looking back now, I'm like, fucking, what is wrong with me? It's not like I would have gotten into huge trouble for doing, like, you know, hugging one person. Oh my gosh. I felt like such an idiot.
I was, like, insanely just completely awkward back in high school.
Oh, same.
Like, I was not a very interactive person. And that kind of stunted my ability to there was this one girl
we can
in
resume the game now.
Oh, okay, is it good?
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was this one girl in oh wow, that tree popped in. Incredible. There was this one
Graphics.
girl. Her let's call her A. So her name was A.
Okay.
And she I want to say she was a grade below me, because going into the high school that I went to, I was a sophomore, and I'm pretty sure she was a freshman. But she she was one of those kids where she didn't go out of her way to. She was pretty minimalist, but I just thought she would look very pretty regardless. Like, I realized beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but that's not the point. It's not the point. Because I was so freaking awkward, I couldn't even fathom the idea of just trying to have a normal friendship with her. So essentially, I just did that thing where I was just like the creepy guy, where like I was like around her, but not actually around her. And I feel really bad about it now, looking back, because I could imagine that makes me sound like a stalker or something.
Right.
But I swear I didn't do it because I was like trying to be creepy. I just genuinely could not bring myself to just be normal. Although the few interactions I have with her, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I blew it so hard. I can't even think about it now. I'm so embarrassed. Just like, it was like, oh hey, like, and I couldn't formulate normal sentences to save my life, and I acted really awkward, and it was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, at the time, you know, just because you're so young, you don't have a whole lot of experience of, like, you know, just having relationships, I
think considering the fact that I was homeschooled most of my life, and that me going into high school was really and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not gonna act like I am good at social interaction now, because I'm not. I'm definitely not a people person, not gonna lie. But I was definitely a lot worse back in high school.
I'm kind of the reverse. I think I was awkward in high school, but I was somehow like more social and had more friends.
I think
and then after graduation, I kind of, you know, had the reverse happen where I am more introverted.
Well,
and,
I think technically that's what I was somewhat of a social person before high school, but I think what happened was I was essentially put into a setting that I wasn't used to.
Right, yeah.
And so as a result, I just completely... Okay, why? What the heck is going on here? Is this game made by monkeys? My gosh.
I mean, if you got a bunch of monkeys typing on typewriters or computers, I guess, eventually they would be able to code a game that was half decent.
Oh, here we go. You can bring that up. Get on the skull.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some very generous hitboxes there.
It is not, actually.
Okay.
The game.
Thanks.
The game said "fuck you."
Wait, what? Okay, thank you, game.
There we go.
That's very cool. Gosh. All right. I think you're good now. Yeah.
Yep. I got my CT scan results today.
Oh yeah, you talked about that on your This Way Plas.
Right.
You talked about it on the Discord server.
I did talk about it briefly on the Discord server. Yeah. I got a CT scan last week. It was not fun.
I'm sure.
It was because it was a scan for my intestinal tract.
I see.
And because recently, the last few weeks, I haven't talked about this much, but recently, the last couple of weeks, I've been having some stomach pain. I haven't brought it up because I didn't want to worry anybody.
I think you mentioned it briefly.
I may have mentioned it briefly to you and AC in like a call.
I think so. I don't.
At one point.
I think you did, but I don't recall exactly when. But I didn't really think much of it because you didn't really I guess it wasn't. I don't know. But hey, I'm glad everything's all right.
Yeah, I had to drink this like contrast solution in order to get the scan done.
What?
It was
What?
in the past.
Is the CT scan? What is that? The thing where they like have the scanner, or is it like something else?
It's kind of like an MRI. I went into like a big ring that scanned around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never done an MRI. I've like had the thing where they take the scanner and like put it on your body, but I've never had like an actual one of those.
Right. And I had to drink this contrast solution that was not barium. It was some new stuff that they have. And this
I don't know what either of those are.
Barium, it's like a thick white liquid, and it
So
I didn't want to describe what it was because I knew that you were gonna go there.
I'm sorry.
So I had to drink barium for CT scans and MREs in the past, and it does not taste great. And it got to a point where I would throw up if I had to drink it. So
that's understandable.
So they would say like, oh, you can just drink whole milk as a substitute. And I'm like,
really?
Why didn't you just offer whole milk to begin with?
What?
Why make people drink barium if whole milk works just as well? I don't understand. But anyways, so I would show
milk's
up to...
not great, but if between that and
yeah,
berry,
the milk was vastly preferable to barium.
Leech.
So I would drink milk, and there were several times. There were several times where I was ordered to get MREs done, and my mom would like call them and say like, hey, you can work with whole milk, right? Like just double checking. And they'd be like, yeah, we'll have some whole milk ready for you when you get here. All right, great. And then we'd get there and they wouldn't have any whole milk. So we'd have to go to the fucking store across the street, buy whole milk, and come back. Which is, it happened every fucking time. It was so annoying.
Incredible.
Yeah, but that was before I moved. And since then...
Oh, well...
the last time I went to get an MRE/CT scan...
Oh, you have to do this one.
They gave me this new stuff, which was like a seltzer stuff. It was kind of like 7-Up. But it didn't taste like 7-Up. It looked like it was like a clear liquid. So this 7-Up stuff was also not great. This last time that I went, so I get there for this most recent CT scan, and they tell me, like, you know, okay, here's the contrast. You just gotta drink it within like 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh.
So they give me the contrast stuff, and it tastes like they put some kind of lemon flavoring in it to mask the taste of the actual contrast.
I see.
And I
also,
honestly... Sorry, what was that?
Do you know who that is? That's Urkel. He's bad now.
Oh yeah. Dang it.
But I got a plan.
I honestly don't know if the stuff they gave me would have been worse or better without the lemon flavoring.
I see.
I started drinking it, and I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. The aftertaste is a lot worse than the actual taste of the contrast. This is okay.
I see.
And then I continued drinking it, and I was like, okay, no. Now it's the other way around. The taste is awful. The aftertaste is not that bad. And then it evolved once again, like a Pokemon, to the point where both the actual taste and the aftertaste were both horrible.
And
That's nice. Yeah, but I drank it. I got the scan done. and they told me today that everything is fine.
We are halfway through the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Next time we play this adventure next week, we will be going through the latter half of Temple of Doom and then the Last Crusade, and then depending on how long that takes, we will have a little bit something extra to show in addition to that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.